Happy Friday, East Texas. Today's Weather Impact Alert Day. I'm meteorologist Sara Blue coming to you on this live stream, and we're going to break down what's happening right now in the sky and give you the latest updates. We're live right now on CBS19 Plus, on Facebook and on YouTube. In a second, I'll go ahead and check any Facebook comments that you guys have or questions about the forecast for the rest of the day. Go ahead and drop them there, and I'll do my best to get to them. Now, we are seeing some storms race in from the south. It's a bit of a turbulent day. We've had some storms pass through this morning. Things began to dry out, but now we are right back under stormy weather. So let me go ahead and zoom in on a couple cells that I'm watching. There's this one that's out toward Longview and Henderson. We're seeing a few gusty winds form out of it, as well as a bit of hail that's coming through. Nothing that is a large piece of hail that's come down yet, but if you're out toward Longview or Henderson, be prepared for that as well. Now down to the south, I am tracking a few more storms. That's toward Nacogdoches, Lufkin, Zvala, and even out to the south, but we'll get to that in just a second. Some heavy pockets of rain, especially for the areas that are highlighted in this red and in this yellow. We are seeing lots of heavy rain there. I have seen some lightning come out of this system, so be prepared for that. Now, even farther to the south, this thunderstorm complex, this is one that I've been watching from West Livingston out toward Seven Oaks and even across the state line. We are seeing a little bit of lightning begin to pick up just toward the state line. Now, our radar is picking up on a little bit of hail that's coming out of this system. This one is just cruising up to the north rather quickly. Let me go ahead and put this in play for you so you can get the latest on it. So it is just flying up there. It does look like it may be trying to have a little bit of an inflow there. So it may be trying to collapse, but that could just be a little bit of interference from our radar. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. But this is flying up to the north. And then we have a few more cells that are moving in from the Houston area. They're out toward the Gulf, and they're continuing to move up to the north from there. Now, this is all part of a system that's going to come through. So let me walk you through it. We do have these storms that are coming in from the south. They'll continue to move up. We're seeing heavy pockets of rain toward Marshall, toward Center, out across the state line. And this is going to continue to go to the north the rest of the day. Really, the widespread showers will come in the next hour or so. Maybe a little bit more than that, and then continue through the afternoon. As we get to the afternoon, though, we do have a central low. This is essentially the core of the storm system. This is going to fly up. You can see the wind even changing directions for that central low in there. I think I can even put it on the screen for you guys. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, right there is where we put it. All right, it is upside down at the moment, but that is okay. But this is where that low is, and it's going to continue to move up as that system spins through. So we are going to see lots of gusty winds, as well as the potential for some hail and heavy rainfall. That will continue into the evening hours of today and into the early morning hours of tomorrow. It should clear out, though, by sunrise. Now, in terms of the big impacts here, it's going to be a potential for flooding. We're seeing a level 1 risk of flooding for all of the areas highlighted in blue on your screen, a level 2 for areas out towards St. Augustine and Sabine counties. So it is going to be a bit of a soggy day out there, especially through deep East Texas. Now, we are tracking a significant amount of rainfall today there. You get up to 2 inches, and that's on top of what we have already received so far. Now, most of us will get a pretty good dousing of rain today, but really the heaviest bits are going to stay just out to our south. This is happening because all of the humid air that's sitting in our region. Now, if you guys have stepped outside in the past hour or so, you guys have probably felt that slight stickiness that is in the air. It's all due to how high our humidity is. So what you're looking at specifically on your screen is our dew point. So the higher that number is, the more humid and sticky it is outside. And we're sitting in the mid-60s, which is on the higher end. So you're going to feel that stickiness. But really what's igniting these storms is a low pressure system. That's what's moving into East Texas. It's moving out of the Houston area about now. And as we get to the afternoon and evening, it's going to move into deep East Texas. That's why we could see a few strong storms down there. That could also bring some gusty winds as well. Now, because of the rain, things will stay on the cooler end. We're looking at around 71 in Tyler, 71 in Mineola, a few 60s out toward Palestine and Jacksonville this afternoon. But overall, things are going to be on the cooler end there. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward back through our graphics to get another look at radar here. That way we can bring you the latest and see what we're tracking. So far, we have not had any watches or warnings get issued for the storms as they move through our area, which is good news for us. That means that they're staying below that severe level. Oh, it looks like we may have just gotten a severe thunderstorm warning get issued to our south. Let's go ahead and check that out. Alrighty. Oh, would you look at this? I bet there's some hail in that too. Okay, so this just popped up. It goes until 12:15. Currently not in the East Texas area, but it's for this cell right out here. Let me see if I can get a look at what this is saying. Alrighty. Severe thunderstorm warning just issued. It goes through the afternoon today, and that's going to be most likely for hail. We can get a better check of what's happening there if we go over to our hail tracker. Sometimes it'll take a second to load, but given the signature that I was seeing, I suspect that we're seeing anywhere between maybe marble to nickel sized hail, so about the size of pocket change coming down. All right, it looks like our radar is having a little bit of trouble picking that up, but we can go right back over to our reflectivity to get a check that direction. I'm going to go ahead and click on our Titan indicator here. That way we can get a check to see how fast this is going. And it is flying. It's moving at about 30 miles per hour. Max hail size, according to our radar estimates, we can get it this direction, about 1/2 inch. So that is a little bit bigger than pocket change size. You want to make sure that you are staying inside if you are in the path of this system. And I'm going to go ahead and walk over here and see if we can get a track on that. That way we can give you a timeline of where that storm is going, because it does have its sights set on Hemp Hill and into Sabine County. Alrighty, let me see. Here is our tracker. That is moving up to the north at approximately 30 miles per hour. So let me move that down. All right, so it should get to Newton closer to 11:30, toward Burkeville a little bit after that. Fairmount closer to 12:15, Fairdale, Yellow Pine closer to 12:30 there. So it is going to be moving rather quickly there. Now, the good news is, even though we had that severe thunderstorm warning get issued, I'm not seeing anything beyond that to worry about. It's mainly going to be for hail and likely for gusty winds. This has been bubbling up rather quickly, and we'll likely see that happen through the rest of the day. A lot of that is because of the thunderstorm energy in our area. So what you're looking at right now on your screen, this is what's known as CAPE, or better known as thunderstorm energy. That is how we can see where these storms are going to build. You can see there's a ton of it that's just locked over the piney woods, and that's what's fueling all of these storms at the moment. I'm going to check in with the National Weather Service to see if they have said anything about it, about this system in particular. They did issue that warning just to our south. Again, just a severe thunderstorm warning, so nothing beyond that to worry about, but still just make sure that you are staying cautious out there. Probably some gusty winds with that as well. Let's go ahead and switch back over to our reflectivity there. That way we can see what's happening. You can see this is just building, and there's a decent amount of lightning in that little cell as well that's out toward Newton at the moment. We go ahead and turn our watches and warnings back on, and then I'll turn off the storm track so our Titan indicator isn't showing up there anymore. Now, I'm going to check to see if there's any rotation in this. I have not seen any rotation out of this at all this morning, so nothing to worry about there. Yep, everything is moving just the direction it should be at the moment, so that is good. But I bet we're getting some pretty gusty winds. Let me go ahead and see if I can get a sample of this for us to see how fast those winds are moving. All right, we're gonna have to turn off a couple of layers there. Alrighty, we're gonna sample it right here near Bleakwood. So that is gusting around 60 miles per hour, which puts us under a severe thunderstorm level. That's right where we should be. So gusty winds, remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. You want to stay out, or I should say inside, as the storm passes you by. Now let me go ahead and switch back over to our reflectivity. That way we can get the best view of what's happening out there. Alrighty, that severe thunderstorm warning just up to, or I should say just down to our south. It does have its sights set on Hemp Hill next. Currently, we do not have any watches or warnings in effect in East Texas. So we are in the clear at the moment. Still though, lots of rain for us. The biggest impact is going to be flooding at the moment. Now we have picked up a decent amount of rainfall already today. This is a look at the past 1 hour. Let me see if I can get a longer timeline on that for you. All right, this is a look over the past 12 hours or so. It may take just a second to load in there. Yep, we have gotten a significant amount of rainfall. So let me go ahead and walk you through what we're seeing here. We have seen quite a bit of rainfall come through. Everything that you're seeing in blue is where our radar estimates are putting us between about 3/4 of an inch to almost 1.1 inches there. And it certainly has been a rainy morning. If you were out on the roadways this morning, just like we had some of our CBS19 crew out there, it was a bit soggy. Now, heavier rain amounts have already come through areas out to our west. So that's Dallas back to Canton, Emory. It looks like we're seeing just a few spots to the west of Emory. Let me zoom in and see if we can get a better look there for you. This is going to be where our radar estimates are putting it closer to about 1.5 inches. So that's out toward Terrell, just to the west there, where you're seeing these little pockets of purple begin to pop up. Now that's not here in East Texas. Most of us are closer to that 3/4 of an inch mark to about 1.3 inches. But so far our radar estimates are putting rain all across East Texas. And remember, we could get up to 2 inches of rain additional for areas out to the south. That's where we're tracking that highest risk of flash flooding. So make sure that you never drive into a flooded area. The big deal here is that you don't know how deep it is. So you can be driving and you don't know that that is maybe 1, 2, 3 feet deep, and you drive in and it really doesn't take that much water to wash away a vehicle. I want you guys to stay safe out there. Hopefully no water rescues have to be performed. So far, we have not gotten any reports of those here at CBS19, but please make sure that you guys are staying safe out there as well. Let me go ahead and switch back over to our radar. See where the heaviest rain is. It's still just out to the south toward Nacogdoches and Lufkin. Now, we are seeing a little bit of hail begin to pick up out toward Nacogdoches. I believe I have a camera for you that I can show you. Let me walk over here and go ahead and get it up. We have a tower cam out in SFA, and I bet that is going to show the hail and the rain and the wind for you. So give me just a second to get that up. But overall, it is a bit of a stormy day out there for us. That's why we have that weather impact and alert. All right, it looks like we have it up for you. There's some gloomy skies out there. I'm not seeing the hail just yet on our tower camera, but it is getting picked up on our radar out there. All right, let's switch over to Facebook and see what you guys, if you have any questions out there. I hope you guys have been having a pretty good Friday so far and that you haven't been too impacted by the rainfall. All right, give me just a second to pull it up. All right, it looks like we don't have any questions in the chat, so good news out there. Let's switch back over to rainfall activity one more time, get a look at what we're seeing out there. Once again, heavy rainfall to the south, Lufkin, Nacogdoches. I'm talking to you guys. This will continue up to the north. We'll see it stick with us all the way into the afternoon. In the next couple hours, it's going to continue to pick up, and this is going to go all the way into the afternoon and evening. You can see this little cell just cruising by, and as we have the wind shifting directions, that's when we'll likely get our most gusty winds. We are sitting under a level 1 risk of severe weather that is just out to our southeast. So it is a level 1, nothing that is of a terrible amount of concern at this moment. But again, level 1 does stretch from Nacogdoches out to center and into Hemp Hill. So make sure that you are staying weather aware. That's as we have the wind shifting. We'll likely get some gusty winds out of that, as well as some hail. That'll be the biggest impact there. Now, new since the last time I saw you this morning, we have been seeing a little bit of tornado energy. The scientific name for that is helicity, but it is just a little bit of spin. So if you're in center, Hemp Hill, anywhere along the state line, I'd recommend just staying weather aware. It does not appear likely at this moment, but we can't rule out the possibility of a spin up based off of this new data that I'm seeing. The National Weather Service said there's only about a 20% chance that that does happen. Anything is very unlikely, but this new data is beginning to pop up. So we want to make sure that you guys have the heads up with that as well. Again, any spin ups are unlikely, but new data is suggesting that there could be a possibility of it. So just make sure you're staying up to date with the forecast, and that will really keep you the safest as this comes through. Now, one other thing I wanted to tell you about, this is just in the future, giving you a heads up. On Sunday, we have a risk of severe weather. That's a level 2 risk. That's for the areas highlighted in yellow. That's the majority of East Texas, but up to our northeast. That's where we're starting to see a level 3 risk begin to creep in. Denise, if you can take this full screen so they can get a better view of it, you can see just up to that northeast area where there's a chance for some stronger storms. Level 3, once again, not today, on Sunday. That's when we have a line of showers and thunderstorms that's coming through. Gusty winds as well as the potential for hail are coming in. Again, this is Sunday into Monday, so make sure that you're staying weather aware. We're giving you the heads up there. Now, our chief meteorologist will be in on Sunday to track that for you so you have the latest updates. But otherwise, the next 7 days are looking a little bit dicey out there. Today, the big impact is going to be flooding as well as heavy rain. Things will stay on the cooler end thanks to all of the rain that we're seeing that's going to cool the air down. Saturday, we're back into the 80s. Really, any rain should clear out by the time the sun comes up, so it'll be a nice afternoon. On Sunday, we're back under that weather impact alert due to gusty winds and all of that I just went through with you guys. And then we are continuing to watch our next storm system, which is coming through next week. That's happening on Wednesday. Well, I hope you guys stay dry on this slightly soggy Friday and have a great day. And I'll have more updates for you in just under 30 minutes on the noon show. We will see you there.